Looking for some new podcasts to listen to? Well, Rat Salad Review Network has plenty of shows to choose from. Like Rat Salad Review, where they discuss the latest rock and metal news, as well as interviews and albums. Album vs. Album, the King Diamond Podcast, with Wayne Noon, Greg Noggle, and sometimes this guy.
Smack 'em a gob!
Ralph Vieira is also on our network with the Vieira Vault. There's also Old Man Metal's Musings, where he discusses heavy metal and beer. Music is Life with Lou Mavs. The Right Opinion for those who love politics. A South Park podcast called Suck My Balls. The Infinite Fringe, a watch-along wrestling show called Beyond Bushido. Ex-Stradivarius guitarist, the Timo Tolkki podcast. And the Great Harry Barnett with I Don't Even Like Podcasts. So check out ratsaladreview.com or search Rat Salad Review on YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and more.
Hello, Wayne and Greg. My name's Lee Gibson. I came across Mercyful Fate in a record store in Pinellas Park, Florida, 1984. Never heard of the band. Seen the Melissa album, loved the cover, bought it. Didn't really like King's voice. Don't Break the Oath. It later kind of got to me, and I became hooked. And first saw the King in '87 in Bradenton, Florida, on the Abigail tour. Fantastic. Michael Moon on guitar. 1988 on the Them tour, I got to work as a local stagehand and was drum tech. Played Mickey's drums. Fantastic. Seen them numerous times throughout the years. I'm looking forward to Psycho Vegas in 2021 if that goes down. Just saw the King in Atlanta, November. Love the King. Worship the King. He is my idol. Some of my King Diamond Mercyful Fate stuff. Stay heavy.
Welcome to This Broadcast Belongs to Them. It's been a freaking while. It's been almost like a month, or it has been a month, actually.
Yeah, I needed time for my killing spree, so I feel good. Everybody I killed, I did it perfectly, man. They all they think they all died of corona. Fucking awesome.
All right, good.
Killer.
You must be the poisoner.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
And I wear a mask so they didn't know who I was.
Sneaky.
Well, doesn't everyone?
I wore a mask and a Blink 182 shirt. Nobody will figure out that was me.
The killer was described as Gene Simmons wearing a Blink 182 shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I put a raccoon on my head. It looked just like Gene Simmons.
I meant like, the demon printed on a mask. But yeah.
I got explicit with that. All right. But I'm glad everybody's done with the killing, at least for now, and we're all joined to talk about Mercyful Fate's Time.
Yeah!
Tony Morgan's favorite Mercyful Fate album. And if you don't know who Tony Morgan is, go check him out on Facebook. Stories from Hell, his Facebook group. But yeah, welcome back, Lisa.
Yeah.
Been a while.
Yes.
I think this is my favorite Mercyful Fate album too. I didn't know it until you asked if I'd want to join you guys to talk about it. And so I listened to it again. It'd been a long time, and I'm like, damn, every song is my favorite song.
Really?
It's like every time I listen to it, it's like, no, that's my favorite song. No, that's my favorite song on the album. So that kind of tells me I really dig it.
Really cool. Ralph, what's up, Mr. Fuck?
How you doing? I'm doing great, man.
I listened to your Alice Cooper thing I told you the other day. Very good show.
Yeah, I fucked up big time. We did a top 20 Alice Cooper songs, and without even noticing, I wrote 40 songs. And then by the time we got to 20, I was like, wait a second. All right, the last 20 was honorable mentions. I had to do it. I totally fucked that up.
It did. And the worst part was...
Made for good podcasting.
It did. But the worst part was I was trying to... I like to make a little playlist, and I was trying to follow along what he was saying. And then when he said he fucked up, I'm like, I'm not gonna go over this again. So
fuck this guy.
Screwed that up. Yeah, fuck that. But,
yeah, I haven't watched that one yet, but I've been watching the Judas Priest one.
Yeah, I just listened to that one yesterday.
There's two more.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, wow, you made 3 parts of that, huh? Well, they do have a big
discussion. All in one sitting, but I don't want to put up a 3-hour episode, you know?
Yeah,
so I just cut it. And plus, it buys me time.
Yeah.
To make it more. I have about 10 episodes already for the VR. Oh, really? Thanks to you, Wayne, I interviewed Hex. Oh. Wait to hear that interview. I did it with that wacky guy from the Alice Cooper show.
Okay.
Because he is the biggest Hex fan. Yeah. And he was totally fanboying out, and the guy from Hex was like, dude, I always want to quit doing my stuff, and then I hear you, I'm like, damn, I may be doing something right here, Because this guy used to go to school with a book bag that had Hex on it. I know, because he was my guitar player. All he did was play Hex all the time.
Wow.
So then when you told me, I go, oh, let me see if I can get this guy to do it. Yeah. Then I'll definitely do the interview.
Yeah. So it went well.
It was good. It's a great one.
Really cool.
It'll be up in like 3 weeks.
Awesome. And Greg,
the
VR Bolt, yes, you can hear it on the Rat Salad Review Network, or you can hear it on Ralph's own network, whatever what is that, Spreaker and iTunes and everything you're on as well.
Sure, iTunes and YouTube.
Yep. So find them on there. And Greg.
Yes.
The biggest news.
That
record behind you. Greg got the Steal of the Century.
Yeah, an original Don't Break the Oath green combat label with the inner sleeve for $3.95.
Damn.
I assume somebody priced it wrong, but I just grabbed it, didn't say anything, and bought it.
Sweet.
Their loss is your gain.
Steal of the century there. That'll never happen again.
Never. I just bought that a few months ago. I think I spent like $45 on mine. And it has like a hole punch in it. So
original
$423 with sales tax.
That makes me sick. I'll buy it from you for $4.
No.
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
$4.24.
$5.
Yeah, the price is right, man.
I'll give you $10 and a can of turtle wax.
Turtle wax.
You thought the price is right. I figured I'd throw that in.
He doesn't even have a car. What's he going to do with the turtle wax?
No, but he was talking about Price is Right. I got it. They used to have
it. But he can shine his bus pass with turtle wax.
That's true. Yeah, you could. Or your
You
scooter.
could also shine your helmet,
Or my hair.
that was what I meant, actually.
You dick. All right, anyway. Mercyful Fate, Time, the second album after the first reunion, when they came back in the Shadows. And the one noticeable... What?
4th album overall.
This is the 4th album, yes. The one noticeable thing is Timi Hansen has left. And now, I know, right? And now Sharlee D'angelo has taken over the bass playing for Mercyful Fate. And Snowy Shaw, who was featured on the last album and picture, has now been featured in the album actually playing the drums.
Yes.
So that's
And
a very
very
cool
well.
thing. Very well,
Very.
yes.
It makes a huge difference, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I like this one better than In the Shadows.
Yeah, like back in the Shadows, I feel like they held back a little bit too much, and in this album they finally got more progressive elements back into their music, and it just the drumming even reminds me a little bit of Kim Russ, even though it's not exactly, but it's way better than Morten Nielsen or whatever the hell his name was. But anyway, Nightmare Be Thy Name, the first song on the album. Who wants to go first?
I love it. It starts grooving. It just starts with a groove.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's old school. It's got some proto elements to it. Yeah, you can sing along. It's catchy. It's got a beat. You can dance to it. Love it.
Dance, I mean, Mercyful Fate.
Well, you could, man. It's that riff and that groove are killer.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Would you dance to this in your car, Ralph?
Huh?
Would you dance to this in your car? Once in a while, you do dance to music in your car on Facebook. Oh, he froze.
He froze. He's thinking.
Did I dance in my car to this song? I don't know. It's possible to dance to this song. He's in real deep thought.
Oh, he's come back.
No, you're frozen. You're frozen.
Still frozen?
Yeah.
No.
I'm going to hang you up and call you back.
It's back on my end.
Are you back now? Let me see.
Move, dude.
No, I'm gonna call
I
you
am.
I'm going to call you back. All right, you're back.
Yeah.
So, have you danced to this song in your car?
I dance to everything in my car. That's why I have so many car accidents.
Oh, you shouldn't do while you're driving.
I love this song, by the way. I love that chorus, and I love when the chorus comes in at the end when there's no band playing. It almost sounds like gospel.
Yeah.
Like, gospel from a satanic church, obviously.
Uh-huh.
It's got that echoey gospel feel. And, that riff is awesome. Like, it's kind of got that groove, and it's just a badass. And I love the video, too.
Yeah, the video is really cool. I remember my friends telling me, "Oh, you got to check out that new Mercyful Fate song. It was on Headbangers Ball." I was like, "What? No one new song." So obviously, I used to tape it because it was on way too late for me. I was too young to stay up until midnight. So I, went and watched that video, and it was really cool. I really liked it, and it was a good song too. What I really like about the song is the intro and how that flange bass sound. Because you would never hear. Yeah, you'll never hear Timi Hansen really add any sounds to his bass. He always just played straight bass, I think, right? I don't remember hearing him add any extra sounds. But that was pretty cool. Something interesting. Yeah,
there's a lot of post-production on this, and that's one thing that I noticed with this. Like you were talking about that spot where it's just the vocals, and then the band comes back in. It's a studio fade in.
Yeah.
So you can hear there's a lot of studio magic going on, but it's all really really well done. Really clear. It doesn't sound sterile. It still just fucking rocks. But you could hear everybody clear as a bell, and then just the reverb tails on the vocals and everything, and how clear the drums sound. I mean, this is a really well produced album, and it was Tim Kimsey again, and he's a Grammy Award winner, oddly, for a gospel album.
Right?
Yeah, oddly enough.
Wow.
I love the opening lyrics, like how it says, "Master, you know I never pray. Master, nothing can keep you away." I love that part, and I also like how he sings the chorus part. He sings it low. He doesn't do. I mean, he has the background high notes in the background, but he sings the main of it low, and I like that. Which I noticed he started doing a lot when they came back. From being retired. He didn't do a lot of the screaming. I mean, he does in the background, but he uses a regular voice, which is good. And I think a lot of people can get into that a little bit more than with the old stuff, because he does too much high stuff. I know a friend of mine, he likes Mercyful Fate, but he likes the newer stuff because he doesn't use those high notes as much. And I love that breakdown in the middle, and it's definitely one of my top 20 Mercyful Fate songs.
Right on.
I agree.
Yeah. Song 2, Angel of Light.
Satan makes his triumphant return to a Mercyful Fate album.
Yeah.
The last time I mentioned Lucifer was on the Oath, I think. Song The Oath.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's like he's renewing his vow.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a great song, too. This is probably my favorite one on here, actually.
Yeah, I like how it starts like very upbeat, just gets right to the point. Some really, really catchy guitar stuff. Some really good solos. The song's short though; it's a little bit over 3 minutes, so it's really not a long song.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
Keep
right
it
to the
straightforward.
point.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think it's very straightforward for Mercyful Fate.
Yeah.
they're really
Awesome.
good at packing a lot into a short song, though. They've always been able to pack. I've always been surprised because, when I listen to Iron Maiden and I hear, the epic songs that I love, and I'm like, yeah, this one's 6 minutes long and that one's 7 minutes long. But with Fate and King Diamond, it seems like, wow, is that song like 4 minutes long? Holy crap, how'd they pack so much goodness? Although, yeah, this one is a little more straightforward, boom, chuck, rock. And yeah, you can dance to it.
A lot of dancing.
You can dance to Lucifer. Come on.
Oh, sure. Why
Yeah. Swinging for Satan.
Ralph.
Oh, Wayne's got a Christian album coming out.
Yeah, I love it.
It's
Like
called
I said,
One Times. Oh, sorry.
What do I have coming out?
You got your own Christian album coming out. It's called One Times, Two Times, Three Times, My Savior.
Lucifer.
Ralph.
Yeah, I love it too. Like Lisa said it perfectly. The thing I love about Mercyful Fate is that they cram so much in a song, and it doesn't even matter how long. Usually, cram a lot of different riffs and changes. Most of the time, it's a little offset. Where this one, it's like it just matches perfectly. Mm-hmm. It's like they when they change the tempo or whatever the riff, it's like flawless. It's like,
yep.
You're not like, oh, sometimes, when it goes into a different riff, like a couple seconds later, you're like, oh yeah, change a little bit. You don't even notice, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And I remember hearing this song for the first time and I got all excited. I heard Lucifer. I was like, oh shit, Lucifer. I haven't heard that word in a while. Yeah. Since the 80s But it's great. I loves it. I can dance in my car to it.
Speaking of dancing, song 3, Witch's Dance. Another one they released a video for. This one was really cool because this time you got to see King holding, I don't know who the hell's dog it was, but he was in the desert with holding the dog on a leash.
Yeah, yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Nice. Man, I haven't seen that video in fucking years.
Yeah.
I forgot they even made it. Yeah.
Actually, it looks pretty cheaply made. You just everybody. Okay, it's dark. You got some lights. You got a dog. You got a fire. Mugging at the camera. Boom! You got a video.
Well, that's the one for the uninvited guests off Into the Unknown is basically just him sitting at that table with the candelabra singing, or a shot of the band playing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still a cool video, but that's all that happens. It's either him sitting there or them playing.
But it's another catchy song, and I might throw another song on my top 20 favorites as well. I love the middle section where there's like that violin part, and then they have almost that Queen type, with the vocals. And even in the video, they show all the four heads on the screen, and then King in the middle, and they're all singing like the Bohemian Rhapsody video.
Yes.
It made me think more of Deep Purple, and there's actually there's a rhythm part in this song somewhere towards the middle with the riff, where it reminded me a little bit of Space Truckin', so that's what I thought of more so.
Interesting.
I'm actually not really a huge fan of Deep Purple. I actually don't even really know any Deep Purple songs, so I would never even guess that.
Well, that's why you're...
condolences.
You gotta listen.
Yeah. What'd you say, Lisa?
You gotta listen to some more Deep Purple, and then
do.
boom, you'll be a fan.
I do. I don't like Smoke on the Water. That really kills it for me.
Well, ignore that one. You got to hear the Space Book, man. That was the first song I ever learned on the bass. Was
It's
Space.
untouchable.
Highway
Yeah,
Star,
judge.
Black Knight,
Highway
Fireball,
Star. I don't like that one either.
Demon's Eye. Come on, man.
That
We
one.
can't
Just
Yeah.
like a demon's eye.
let Sucker Into the Fire. I mean, goddamn, they have a lot of good heavy ones. Pictures
Flight of the
Home.
Rat.
Flight of the Rat.
Dude.
Never
Pictures
played
of
live.
Home.
Pictures
Really?
of Home. Never played live. Flight of the Rat. Crazy, right? Such an
That is
incredible.
crazy.
Someone's gonna have to
I
make
know.
me a Deep Purple playlist
There you go.
so I can
You will be
learn.
impressed.
All right, I'll take your word for it. All right, who was next?
So we're talking Witches Dance.
Witches Dance. Yeah, go ahead.
I like in the chorus, and he's done this before, where he's dance in the witches dance while he's going oh, and he's singing the backup as just a ooh or an ah while he's growling the words, and he's used that a lot, and I love it. I love it, and nobody else really does that. Has his own. Because they share the same space. It's not like just this little backup part in the back. And that's what most people do when they have something that's like an ah in the background. You tuck it in the back. It's just like right up there in your face. It's like singing a duet with himself. And it's really badass. That whole song is just really well written, just musically, just the melody. It's just really memorable. All of it. The chorus melody, the pre-chorus, the chorus itself, the verse, all of it. It's just really super memorable. Just great song.
Yeah, it would definitely be in the part of a classic Mercyful Fate collection there, I would say.
Yep.
This whole record is just so fresh and classic sounding right off the bat, though.
Yeah.
I mean, In the Shadows was kind of stiff almost on certain parts. This is kind of like fully we're back type of thing. Even though I know Timi's not on it. But.
Yeah, the only thing that I would say about this album is that since Timi's not on it, it's more like that where the bass is being used to thicken up the guitar parts and doesn't really have its own independent part. And when you're a session player and you come into a session, a lot of times you're kind of like feeling people out and what do you need? And you can be kind of conservative. So I think maybe Sharlee was being a little conservative in the studio. Mm-hmm. Just show me the part. What do you want me to play? Instead of participating more, where it sounds like Snowy Shaw was like, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, do that, So, that I'd say that would be my only disappointment is that, the bass is a little more restrained.
Subdued. Yeah. Restrained.
But it does sound natural. Everybody sounds natural. It sounds like to me, and this is, I've been in the studio a lot, that they actually probably had a good experience in the studio. Because there's some records you can listen to and then you hear later on, oh yeah, people weren't getting along, and the producer was being a dick, and then you listen to it and you go, yeah, this album sounds like these people are unhappy. This sounds like they had a good experience in the studio.
I'm not sure because I'm thinking of the Michael Dinner interview, and I don't remember if he had a good time doing this album. Did he? Greg, do you remember? He says it's going to be on this, not this episode, the next episode.
I don't remember if it was this one or Into the Unknown. I think it might have been Into the Unknown where he said he didn't have a good time.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Well, it'll be in the interview.
The performances are great.
I think he said he really enjoyed the band during the Time era lineup with Snowy and Sharlee, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. And the one thing I forgot to mention was, I don't know why it is, but for some reason, a lot of people either love this album or hate it. And I guess I can kind of understand it because I still think the production, like in the Shadows, it's a little thin sounding, And there's just something about the album just got like a very tinny sound to it. It just sounds, I don't know. That's the only thing I don't like about the album.
I know what you're talking about, but however, I disagree that it's the whole album. I think, and Lisa mentioned it before, how his vocals are more so double tracked on this, and there's some studio magic going on. Yeah. That tinny sound only seems to come into the vocals specifically when they're doing that. I don't know if they were having, maybe issues figuring out how to track it up like that, but I hear what you're saying. It loses a little bit of its volume sometimes on some of the choruses when he's doing the in the background and doing like a speaking part at the same time. But I think the music sounds great. I think it sounds really punchy, actually. I mean, Angel of Light's a great example. You know, that's like an old Saxon song, right, Ralph?
Yeah, very new wave of British heavy metal-ish beginning, you know.
Yeah. And then Witch's Dance is almost like a prog epic, really.
Your connection's way better now, Ralph. So Witch's Dance.
Cool. Witch's Dance, like you mentioned, I love the strings. Am I good? Am I still good?
Right now,
okay.
Good.
Because if it continues going bad, I'll just turn my camera off. Because that's how I do my podcast. I never have a problem with my podcast because it's only audio. So anyway, you guys were talking about the video. I remember this video. I got to see it back then because by this time, Headbangers Ball was canceled. And I had Spanish MTV here on the beach. And I used to see this video. And it is a weird video. And like you mentioned, that Bohemian Rhapsody vibe. It's great, though. It's one of my favorites on here. Not my favorite, but it's one of my favorites on here. I really dig it. I love it.
Yeah. Like I said before, it's really, I would fit it right in with any classical Mercyful Fate song. You know?
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Next song. The Mad Arab.
I love it.
Starts out. I love the intro.
Well, first of all, the song Mad Arab is about the H.P. Lovecraft character Abdul al-Zaharid, if I pronounce it correctly.
Al-Hazred. He wrote it, transcribed.
Yeah, right. And that's what basically the song is about, the Necronomicon. And this is actually part 1. On the next album, they do part 2. Now, here's where I kind of stopped liking the album a little bit. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's that like Egyptian-ish type, guitar chords and stuff. Because in a way, sometimes I'm sick of hearing that. There's too many bands that do all that Egyptian shit. I don't know. I just get a little sick of it. The vocals bother me a little bit in some parts. And King saying Mad Arab just sounds kind of stupid to me. It's a shame because the story is interesting and I wanted to hear what part 2 would be like, which I actually like a little bit more. But this song is just a little too all over the place for me. Just does not fit on this album. It's a little too proggy. And it seems like they just threw, and actually we'll talk about that later, but just too many parts in one song that just do not work for me. The song's not terrible, but it's my least favorite song on this album. Eeny, meeny, miny, moe. Lisa.
Well, I kind of get what you mean because it's schlocky, and a lot of his performance is schlocky. The Mad Arab, but he just really laid it on for thick. And then also that part at the end, he's running down the mountainside. Hey, listen to the music. It sounds like somebody running. Right, sing about him running. So there's some corny shit in that. And then, yes, I would say some of the segues, like I think, Ralph, you were saying earlier about the changes in Angel of Light, how you don't notice. It's not like, they did something really different. Maybe some of the segues were a little more clumsy in the song, but overall, I love this song, and I love the schlocky shit. I mean, that's the thing I love about King Diamond is that schlocky horror movie, it's a price kind of thing going on. So I like it. I like Middle Eastern stuff.
Sometimes, if they do it right, I like it. But this one, not for me. Eeny, meeny, miny, Ralph.
I really dig it. I mean, it is different for Fate to sing about you know, I know it's from the book of Necronomicon, but, you know, Egyptian. I mean, there was Curse of the Pharaohs. You know?
Yeah, but they didn't use any Egyptian parts in that song.
Exactly.
So,
but I dig it. I mean, it's not a song I would skip. Actually, there's no songs I would skip. Actually, there's one song I wouldn't say sucks, but I'm not crazy about it. And it's not this one. This one is extremely tolerable, and I have no problem with the Mad Arab. I dig it.
Interesting. And I'm going to assume you do as well, Greg.
Yes, I do. I love this song. And like Lisa was saying, Arab, not Egyptian. More Ravi Shankar than Tutankhamun.
Arab, whatever.
But I know what you were getting at.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's schlocky, like a Roger Corman movie, and a lot of H.P. Lovecraft's actual stories are written like that with black humor. So I thought it was perfect, and he just sounds like he's having so much fun with it. It's a great song, and it rocks. The only thing I do think is I think it comes a little early in the track listing. It kind of messes up the flow of the first couple songs there. I'd have moved it back a song or two.
But to be later in the album?
Yeah.
I get it, yeah. I don't know. They maybe could open up the second side.
That's what I mean. It should have. Yeah. I just think it works better like that.
All right. Next song, My Demon.
Yeah.
Now this one's a good one. My favorite part in this is the intro with the dueling guitars. I really like that a lot. I like the lyrics where he says, "Deep in the dark you'll find us." I also like the part where he says, "Be my demon," and repeats that. That's pretty cool. And he does it in that like demon voice, Yeah. And then the part where he's talking to himself, like about the stains on the floor and they won't come off anymore. I really like that part as well. Good song. Not the best song on here, but it's a good song.
I think it's my favorite song.
Your favorite song?
I think it might be my favorite song on there. It's the most neoclassical song. You could imagine this as an instrumental on an Yngwie Malmsteen album. I really could. I can imagine this. And and actually when they change up when he gets to the chorus, they actually shuffle. They actually go into a shuffle. Like, what the hell? I think it's just, I love this song, and I love that part where he goes, "My demon," and they hit this halftime. Boom, boom, gong, da ba da da go bum. I love this song. It's really varied. It's got a lot of dynamics. The dark stains on the floor, they won't come off anymore. It's
yeah, that's good stuff.
Super dynamic. Yep. Love this song.
Greg.
I like this song. Like Lisa was saying, though, it's very neoclassical and very conceptual. This one song on here, just this one song, sounds more like a King Diamond solo track to me than a Mercyful Fate one. So I find it kind of odd in that respect as far as how the flow of the rest of the album goes, but I still like it a lot. It's very dynamic. And the different parts are really cool. And I would like to end by saying I prefer that Yngwie Malmsteen stay as far away from my imagination as possible.
I'm not talking personally. I'm talking first album musically.
You don't
I'm talking about his guitar playing everything. If it's not I'll See the Light Tonight, you can go right the hell back home.
My drummer is his drummer now. Did you know that?
No, really? I didn't.
Wow.
Well, he won't be there long.
He's been with him 3 years now.
Really?
And
that's cool.
He makes him wear a ponytail on stage.
Okay.
I can tell a million Yngwie stories, and they're all not good.
Oh, I believe that 100%.
We'll have to do that after the show.
But I love this song, My Demon. It starts off kind of power metal. It has like a power metal feel. Yeah. But what really, man, I remember the first time I heard this, the chorus reminds me so much of Gates of Babylon from Rainbow. Listen to Gates of Babylon, then listen to
Okay.
it has that kind of structure of Gates of Babylon. I think it's very solid and it's adventurous, and it's a really killer tune. I digs it.
Yeah, really good. All right, last song on side one, Time. Very interesting song. Starts off with like a little harpsichord thing. I either love or hate this song, really. Some nice vocal melody parts, but it just repeats itself a lot. Nothing really goes on in the song until the end, and they get a little heavy. I can kind of do without this song, really. I like it, and I listen to it. When I listen to the album, I'm not going to skip it or anything, but it's just, I don't know. It just don't really do much.
I love it. It's like an evil Pink Floyd. And the harpsichord parts are beautiful.
It reminds me a little bit of Little Girls from the
Yeah, yep. King Diamond played the harpsichord on this tune, too.
Yeah, he played all the keyboards.
He wrote this song, he wrote My Demon, and he wrote this song, too. I like it. It's a nice interlude, and it breaks up the album. And it's one of those, get your lighter out, or hold up your phone and sway back and forth. It's one of those tunes to me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not terrible. Ralph?
I think it's the best damn song on the album.
Are you serious?
I think it's a masterpiece. Yes.
Get the hell out of here.
Even though it's not sounding like 80s Fate, the structure, I think, is as amazing as the early stuff. The changes are incredible, how they blend together. I absolutely love this song. I think it's a masterpiece. And I think it's one of their most underrated songs because too many people think like Wayne.
Yep. I agree.
Hey, the vocal melodies in the chorus are cool with the time, and all that crap. Man, I got a terrible voice. It's cool. Yeah, I like that part. But the rest of the song, it's just too much repetitiveness.
Hey, Wayne, you're right and I'm wrong. All right?
You are wrong.
I am 100% wrong.
I'm glad
you are right, but I'm not agreeing with you either way. I love being wrong when it comes to this song. Hey, that rhymed.
What's your name? Oh, Greg.
This would be my second favorite one. This is an awesome
Holy
song.
Crap. I'm gonna just I'm stopping.
Oh no, this is another one where it's like real dynamic and the vocal melodies, not just the chorus, the way he sings throughout the whole song and the way the harpsichords interweave with it. It's awesome.
Hey Wayne, I mean Greg, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When it comes to this song, aren't you proud? Doesn't it make you feel good that you're wrong, like me?
Yes.
I guess
yes,
we're
it
all
does.
It's a great feeling wrong for this masterpiece called Time.
That's right. And it is. I really feel like it is a centerpiece of the album.
I do too.
Well, they named the album after it. It's the title track.
Yeah, usually they make a good song for the title track.
Oh man! But you know,
wow.
Look, the Poisoner. That's one of the greatest songs. You would have named the album after something.
Fools.
Yeah. I'm just gonna put a big red sign that says "wrong" across all your faces during the show.
And then when you see the Poisoner, you put "right" on all our faces.
That's right.
Yep.
But that will end side one for now. We're going to go to Snowy Shore. And actually, hold on. Where the hell did they put it? Here it is right here. Snowy Shore, the man who just released his book, his first book. Tons and tons of stories in this book. You can get it at steelcartel.com. If you live in the U.S. If you don't live in the U.S., and you go to snowyshore.com, I believe. I don't know, but just look up Snowy Shore. You can buy this book. He autographed it for me. He just wrote Wayne Noon Rock. Thanks a bunch, Snowy Shore. But that's cool. Really cool book. I've yet to read it. So go purchase that.
Cool guy.
I saw under that rock he wrote, "You're right about the song Time." I saw that.
Everybody else is wrong. You're right. But yes, check out his interview. He'll actually talk about that book a little bit. He didn't give us too much information because he didn't have it done when we did this.
I mean, Ralph, what do you really expect from drummers? We all know what Spinal Tap went through.
I'm sure Snowy probably does feel the same because he's a drummer and there's not much going on with drums in this song. So he might be a little bored with this one. I'll ask him.
Hey, Wayne, being a drummer, do you aspire one day to be a musician?
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to kick Ralph off the call again.
Little shit.
Yeah. All right. Does anybody have anything to promote? Lisa.
Do I have anything to promote?
Yeah.
Well, yes. I don't have the CD with me, but I have. I've got the CD, The Poisoner, and I've got patches, and I got T-shirts, White Crone T-shirts,
cool.
And that's at whitecrone.bandcamp.com.
I'm ordering mine today.
It's about time.
Yay!
Hell's taking so long.
Hurry up! I don't have that many, men's size shirts. It seems like I ran out of the men's sizes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And Ralph, got anything besides the Vieira Vault?
What's up, Dr. Fuck?
Close again.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, got the Vieira Vault, Almost Human YouTube page, and the Dr. Fuck Show on that metal station every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Join or die.
Are we working on some new Thrash or Die songs?
Yes, actually, I just wrote a song the other day called Black Shark. That's really good, and it's not about a shark; it's about a car. And don't let my inspiration for that title fool you, but I got the title from Knock 'em Dead Kid from Motley Crue. No, not Knock 'em Dead Kid. What's the song where he goes, "Fight for the Black Sharks"? Red Hot.
Yeah,
So
Red Hot.
Black Shark. That's a great title for a song, and it's a badass song. Me and my bass player worked on it. It may be the best Thrash or Die song yet.
Nice.
I'll be the judge of that.
Oh well. Well, I'm going to be wrong, but I think it's great.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm excited to hear it.
I think it's our version of Time.
All right, Greg, nothing? Good. All right, check out the Snowy Show interview, and we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye. All right, In the Shadows. Now, you obviously didn't play on that album, but you were in the booklet of the album. Were you supposed to be recording that, or what?
The thing is that after, like I said, the hiatus happened because after the Eye, we only did one show after that. Wow. And then the band sort of, Pete Black and Hal Patino, amicably, is that the word?
Yes.
Quit the band or asked to leave or something, yeah. Anyway, and they got replaced and all that. And he had sort of terminated the contract with the Roadrunner Records, and King wanted to not renew that, or he wanted to try to sign with a major label. So they went out shopping for a new record deal, basically. And that turned out to take a lot harder than they expected, and that's why nothing happened for a couple of years there. But like a year after or something, King called me and he said, there's been a lot of offers, not for King Diamond, but for Mercyful Fate to get back together, and the original lineup. But we don't want Kim Russ to be in the band, so we want you, and you're still in the family and all that. And we were supposed to do some festivals and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Mercyful Fate, so I would love to do that, absolutely. But then I didn't hear anything for a year or something like that. And in the meantime, I was working on my own band, and we were doing Ill Will, and Andy was going to do a soul album, and we started Memento Mori and all that kind of thing. But anyway, so nothing happened. And then I heard that they got a Danish drummer because King had moved back to Denmark by that time, and Hank and Michael Denner lives in Copenhagen. So it was more convenient for them to have a Danish drummer, also with Timi Hansen in there. So anyway, I was like, okay, shit happens, But when they were in the studio to record In the Shadows, then they got back to me again and said that this is not really working out with this drummer. He has some problems here, and we want you to join the band. Okay, and then I said that I would really like to record the drums then for the album.
All right.
Yeah, but we're already so delayed, and we're running out of the budget and all that, because we have to spend so much time trying to fix this with the drums. patch it together like Frankenstein it together or something, you know.
Really?
And then Hank needed to record all the guitars, and so there won't be any time for that. But we can assure you that it's very, very good, you know, top notch. I was like, okay, of course. So then I joined the band, and that was the album, and I was in the band. But that is why my picture is there, and he was doing the drums on the album. So, that's how. But you know, Lars Ulrich is doing a really great job on the song there, I think. But I wish I could have been more persistent and said, yeah, but I really want to do this or to play on it. I can do that in 3 days. It wouldn't be any problems really. But you know, it's always easy to look back and be smart in hindsight.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's a great album. It has a lot of good songs out there, but I wish there could be a little bit better drums on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Me too. I'd really like to hear it with you playing it.
Yeah, I would. Me too. Yeah, but so then we were doing the tours and all that, and then I played those songs. But yeah, so that was In the Shadows. But yeah.
Yeah, anything for In the Shadows, Greg?
No, not you asked what I was going to ask. Time, though, is one of my favorite Mercyful Fate records ever. That's funny. A great album.
So a lot of people actually have that as their favorite, and I think it's a great album. But to me, the first one, it's always, I mean, you cannot be objective about that. The first album that you hear with the band, it's always going to be your favorite somehow, you know. Right. To me, Melissa is like, wow, the shit. So, but Time is probably a very good album. But for me, being involved, it's hard to be objective about that, you know.
Yeah. So, what went on that album? Any kind of crazy stories go on with that at all?
Actually, a little bit of ghost stories there, but that was more, I would say, that King wanted it to be spooky. So he's like, wow, that's weird, that chord there. Yeah, but it's just because you don't know, really. I cannot explain that. Yeah, but if you jump to conclusions like, wow, that's weird and spooky. Yeah, but it's not. It makes sense that if you play that kind of chord and the bass should be like that, blah, blah, blah. I cannot go into details with that, but but it was a good album to record. And what can I say? I mean, what happened there is that I had brought Sharlee, who I brought into King Diamond, and nothing happened with King Diamond. But then it was me, Mike Weed, and Sharlee was in King Diamond with Andy and King. But then I brought Sharlee to Mercyful Fate after Timi Hansen quit the band. It was from day one. It was probably supposed to be, wow, we're going to sell this as a original lineup reunion, and he only did 2 shows and the album and a video, and then he was going to leave the band and go back to be a football coach or whatever it is. Anyway, and they had already planned to have this bass player from Trouble, Chicago bass player. And I sort of objected to that, and I said, no, we're going to have Sharlee. He's been waiting in the wings here now for 3 years. So. And besides that, he's my best friend. So, and I don't understand Danish. I don't understand what you're saying. So it's good to have my best buddy in the band. And, so I brought him into Mercyful Fate, and then we went on tour and all that things, all those things. And then we did the Time album. And once we were done with the drums and they were going to do the bass and all that, King called us and said that, okay, I had some orders here from Brian Slagle and Metal Blade that there are too many comparisons with both bands, because 2 weeks after we finished the recording or the mixing of Time, we were supposed to be back in the same studio in Dallas, Fort Worth, and record with the same guy in the studio for the same record label, because at that time King Diamond had already signed a new contract with Metal Blade, same as Mercyful Fate. And then it would be, out of 5 guys, it would be 3 of the same, me, King, and Sharlee in both bands. Yeah. You know, so there got to be something that separates the bands, because no matter what King sings on, it's his band basically.
Right, it'll sound kind of similar. Yep.
Yeah, but so I totally understood that, and I said, okay, too bad. And since we already recorded the Time album, he said that we're going to replace you in King Diamond, so that's why he got an all-American band for Alibi. That's what happened. But I completely understood his point of view, of course, and there are too many similarities, of course.
Yeah. How come he didn't want Kim Rudds back in the band?
I don't know. I think they have sort of buried the hatchet in later years. It wasn't just King; it was the whole band. They didn't want to pick up with Kim Rudds, but I don't understand. I don't know. I never met the guy, so I don't know.
Interesting. So after you want something, Craig?
No, it's a shame that lineup of Mercyful Fate didn't last one more album. You guys sounded great on there, and I really like Sharlee's bass playing actually.
Yeah, but he's a fantastic musician and a great bass player, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys complement each other very well on that album. Great rhythm section.
Yeah, but like I said, we grew up together, and he was a crappy guitar player because he never practiced or anything. So the reason, I mean, after we did The Eye, Black and Hal Patino left the band and or got kicked out, whatever. But I mean, so we back then it was 1990. I mean, we didn't have internet or anything like that. So while Ole Bang, the manager, and King were shopping for deals, he and Andy were put in charge of finding new members to the band. And so I invented this bogus management called SOS Management. It was home to my mom's place. I just put a little sticker on the door. and we put out ads in the music magazines in Scandinavia at that time, so we could find some new guys, and also asked around for the recommendations from friends and all that. But we wanted also to give a fair chance to people we might not know, So anyway, we put out those ads, and it didn't take long. We got like all those, people applying for the job, like sending in demo tapes and letters and all that. So it was just filling up stacks at my mother's place. And I started to think, like, fuck, Sharlee, he's such a good guy, and I really wanted him to have a shot at it. But as a guitar player, he never practiced ever stuff, He's a natural talent. He's very musical and stuff. And I've been trying to say to him previously that you're such a crappy guitar player. Why don't you play bass? So then we had found, I don't know, but we had a lot of guitar players, and back in those days you had all these Yngwie Malmsteen wannabes or Steve Vai wannabes, and I was so technical and advanced guitar players, really, and he could never match that. He could never live up to Angela Rock's soloing or anything like that. So I was like, so I called him up and say,
nice
I have a
yeah, burn.
I told him that you have a chance of a lifetime here, and you cannot turn this down because then you're an idiot. There are 2 spots in King Diamond, as a bass player or as a guitar player, and I want you to be in the band, but you have to switch to bass. So let's go to Peter, our friend here, and borrow a bass and just pretend you're a bass player. Which we did. And then he joined the band.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we also had like Mike Weed had sent in some cassette or whatever, and he had been with King Diamond. No, with Candlemass shortly, and he also had this band Hexenhaus, and it was like, wow, he's the perfect guy for the band. So all of a sudden we had this new band, and we together with Mike Weed, Sharlee, me, and Andy and King, we should do Spider's Lullaby, but like I just told you, that then too many similarities between bands, so they had to swap the members there.
Would you have rather been in King Diamond instead of the Mercyful Fate, or are you happy to be with Mercyful Fate?
Actually, if I got to choose, I would have chosen King Diamond, I think. I like Mercyful Fate guys and all that, but they were. I cannot put my finger on it, but I was happier in King. I mean, that was the first thing that put my name on the map, and then that I first joined. And I was like really happy with that, you know. Yeah, but it's kind of weird. I was like going through some shit in my life, so I suppose when I was doing the Mercyful Fate thing there, because I wanted to contribute to write songs and all that.
Right. Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to do that, and I felt sort of not neglected, but what can you say? It's like I couldn't express myself musically in that way, and just playing drums. I mean, that's not enough for me. I mean, maybe it was when I was younger, but at that point, I really wanted to express myself and create, and I had all these ideas and all that. And and I wasn't allowed to do that in Mercyful Fate, because it was like decided from early on that Hank writes 40%, King writes 40%, and then the remaining 20%, it's Michael Dennis who writes, and then King writes all the lyrics. And I can totally understand that. But I had so much going on that I wanted to express. So I didn't feel too pleased about that, really, because, I mean, just playing drums, it's not enough for me. And, you know.
Yeah. So was that why you left for the and weren't on Into the Unknown?
Yeah, but the thing is that the last show I did with Mercyful Fate, we were headlining Roskilde Festival. It's a huge festival in Denmark, and at that point in '94, it wasn't that common that you played in front of 70,000 people and stuff, you know.
Right.
So that was like kind of a dream come true, something that you've been striving or struggling for, dreaming about since you were a kid. Wow, playing in front of a huge audience like that. But when I was up there, it had been going on for quite some time that I had so much creativity and I wanted to express that. And if I wasn't allowed, I felt like shut down or put aside or whatever you say. Right. But that show, we played in front of that many people, 70,000 people. And I figured that, wow, I will be euphoric or reach nirvana or something like that. Or, you know, people would kill to be in my position, be with the legendary black metal or, legendary pioneer band Mercyful Fate. But once I got off stage, like I tried to sweat a little bit and I had a beer. I was like, it was just another day at the job, pretty much. And I felt, and I tried to shove that away and like pretend like, yeah, but I'm just in a bad mood or whatever. But the thing is that I wasn't happy, you know.
Yeah.
I couldn't put my finger on it, and I figured, it'll probably go away or whatever. But so then we didn't do anything. Me and Sharlee went back to Sweden, and we were working on this Ill Will thing, and then I was like so inspired to create, and I played all the guitars and all that, and wrote songs and shit. So when Hank called me, like maybe in September or something, we have this huge, big European tour coming up. I haven't been thinking about Mercyful Fate for a long time then, because I just put it away and worked on something else. And then all of a sudden, everything came back to me. It's like, fuck, I got depressed. You know, so I don't want to do this anymore. So, you know, I just walked around like in circles at home thinking about it. And then I called Hank and said, I'm sorry, but I cannot do this anymore. I quit. You know? So, that's what I did. Just being in Ill Will, you know, writing this music, and also Memento Mori and stuff, and I was really happy about that. Because, I mean, if I couldn't contribute or be creative and have some sort of outlet for my creativity, I felt like neglected or ostracized or whatever, you know.
Yeah. Do you think you ever got the opportunity to do that with Mercyful Fate at all, or no?
To write, you mean?
Yeah, to contribute anything.
I think Hank was really pissed off after this. Not at me, but because I wasn't allowed to contribute. So for the next album, Sharlee wrote a song, which he has never done. Just because they wanted to open up to keep the members happy, I suppose, you know. Yeah, I think that's the only song Sharlee ever wrote in his life. You know. Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I was hoping you were going to be on the next one because I love that song, The Mad Arab, and then they had the part 2 on Into the Unknown, and then the drums were different, and the songs didn't really connect with each other as I was hoping they would, but it is what it is.
I actually never heard that album or.
Oh no, really? It's good. It's a good album.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's just that when I leave a band,
yeah, you're done.
I don't listen to it at all. I never do.
Really?
Well, you're not missing anything from Dream Evil, I'll tell you that right now.
No. What is that, Dream Evil or Mercyful Fate?
Dream Evil.
Oh, okay, yeah. I shouldn't say anything bad, but
I won't do that. Yeah. Don't worry.
Mercyful Fate, I don't like Dead Again when they did in 97, 98. I think there's just a lot of burnout on that record, particularly from King, just trying to keep the two bands going at the same time. It's just kind of flat and lifeless. But I did like the final one, 9.
Yeah, but of course it's complicated, and if King is working with two bands, and it's like it makes sense that the best songs he's going to keep his solo band, and exactly. So it becomes a little bit like that, deprioritized or whatever his material for them. But I gotta say, the Mercyful Fate is like the main writers it's like 50-50 between Hank and King, so I understand that, but. Just like everything, when they come back, I think I would have loved to play drums on In the Shadows, because that was really, really good material that Hank's been working on for years, and they had a lot to show, pretty much. But after a while, it's just like the sequel to any movie. It's like the first 2 that are good, and then it becomes like routine.
Yeah.
You pretty much said it all. It's like the best Jaws movie is number 6. No. Yeah, but everything wears out after a while. You got to reinvent yourself and try to move on. And a lot of bands, it's kind of a tricky question, because people want the band to develop, but not too much. It's got to stay the same thing. But if they take 2 big steps, it's I don't like that. So they want the old band to be recognizable, and this is how they sound, but still you want some sort of development or pushing the limits. Yeah. I don't know. Tricky. Yeah, but what can I say? Yeah.
So in all, you were pretty happy, I guess, mainly with being in both bands.
Yeah, I'm extremely happy. Especially, it's with King Diamond, especially because that everything happened to me back then. Just pretty much, it felt like overnight. I had been struggling so hard and tried to make my own band and to make it work with all those slackers, and I was like being so frustrated and all that. And then everything happened. Like, wow, you fly to Los Angeles, and 40 guys before you have tried it out, and they didn't fix it. So I got the job, and I was like, well, you had those hairdressers and the cool, drop-dead gorgeous makeup artists for the Sleepless Night movie and all that. And it's like, wow, it's a complete new world to me. Everything happened pretty much overnight. Yeah, you're walking up Sunset Strip in the summer of '89, and it's like, I got all this offer. Hey man, you want to be a singer in our band? We're the next big thing. It's like, what? A whole different world, Yeah, but it felt pretty much like everything happened overnight, over a week or something like that. So it changed my life, and it put me on the map as well. I was really happy about the whole thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it must have opened a lot of doors for you being in those bands.
Yeah, it did. It really did, and I'm so grateful about that. And otherwise, I probably wouldn't be sitting here. Yeah, of course, I would be continuing making music and all that. But a lot of guys that I have who joined, they wanted to have some sort of success and got offers from bands that they are not so proud of nowadays because they were in that era. But King Diamond is something that you can never just brush off, because it was really good musicianship, and he also sang about Satan. But it has a cool factor instead of like, oh baby, hot chicks, that kind of crap. He's still respected and admired because he's a pioneer and he's original and he's all that. So
exactly.
Yeah. But a lot of my friends like, okay, I'm sorry, I joined that fluffy hair. Yeah, but that's how it goes. Yeah, so I'm very happy about the whole King Diamond thing. It really opened up my eyes to before that I played like youth centers occasionally, and now I got like the first tour I did was U.S. tour, three months in America. I mean, I never been to it. I mean, it was like opening up. So I'm very grateful about that. It was a huge experience.
Yeah. Very cool. Greg, got anything else?
Nope.
All done?
Oh, yeah.
All right, good. All right. Well, hopefully I didn't take up too much of your time. Almost 2 hours.
No, I'm sorry if I talk too much. And just
that's perfect. Yeah, I could talk to you all night, but I'm sure it's later. What time is it over there?
It's 5 to 11. So.
Oh, that's not too bad. And I don't go to bed till 1 o'clock. I'm
up all the time, so yeah. I need to walk though.
All right.
Yeah, so this is sort of a special King Diamond Mercyful Fate.
And somehow I'm going to piece this all together. Like I told you, your section probably won't be on until next year. After, I'll keep it on after your book comes out. Hopefully you have it this year. Don't make me wait any longer.
But that's a massive workload, I gotta say, to do that kind of thing. I mean, if I would, I'm no writer or author, obviously, but if I would write some sort of novel and just fantasize and come up with this shit, it would be so much easier. Now I'm writing about my fucking childhood and my struggle in the music business and all that. And I have a tendency of quitting bands and starting over on square one again. So I make it really complicated for myself.
Hey, you did. How far are you into it?
I've written about everything pretty much, and then I knew right now I'm going through the whole thing and trying to make it more effectful or efficient or scale it down. You got to be take another position of yourself and look objectively and like who's going to care about that crap and remove that and change the order of stuff and all that. So to make it readable and so people won't fall asleep when they want to read. It's a tough job. I mean, I've never done anything like that before, but I started out instead of committing suicide basically when I turned 40 and had like a huge midlife crisis. Crisis. Wow. Yeah, because I mean, if you put something black on white, that's like therapy. You need to be honest with yourself and write it down, and that's a good thing to do. I never kept a journal or a diary or anything like that, but that's actually a very good thing to do. You get a clue about yourself, and when you put things down black on white, it's like you can be objective about it and to process it, process your life very much.
Yeah.
So that started out doing it like some sort of homemade therapy, basically.
Yeah. Is music therapy too, or no?
What do you mean, to make music?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, absolutely nothing makes me happier than to write songs. Just sitting and playing acoustic guitar and come up with my songs in the kitchen. And I have this sort of, let me see, what this is it called? It's called some sort of, audio recorder that makes it like MP3s straight away, so you can, hum or you're singing some sort of cowboy English, right around the sand or now, whatever. Yeah, but to make those kind of songs, and nothing makes me happier. I mean, that's really my passion,
Yeah.
And to create the whole fucking world of like, everything is synchronized, like the artwork and the lyrics and how you orchestrate the whole music and all that. I really like that.
Yeah,
it's really great, and it's just not one thing. It's a whole universe of the whole thing, and that's what I try to capture.
Yeah.
You were like into Kiss Destroyer. You like when I mentioned that you got excited there. I saw, and I mean that's what I try to create, like what you see.
See my little kiss, my kiss thing back there.
No, I don't see it there. I see something.
I don't see my kiss.
That's something kids. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, to me, that was like, wow, this is like listening to action movie, a soundtrack to action movie, with cars crashing and children crying and all that. And I thought it was so cinematic and so cool. And that combination for me, who was really into horror comics and superhero comics like Batman and the Werewolf and Dracula. That was like, wow, this is music at the same time, and it sounds like that. And that's really what I have as a goal in life, to try to recreate that. I mean, not just for what you listen to, but what you see as well. So that's my main goal.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you coming on, and hopefully we can get you on like when around the time your book comes out. We can talk about your book, and we'll definitely do that.
Definitely.
Hopefully we're still on by then. Oh, and Greg just fell.
Is that your brother behind you there?
No, it's my roommate.
Okay. You look a little bit alike.
As long as the show's still on, we will definitely have you on again, because you're a lot of fun. You're a great interviewer.
I
really appreciate it.
I like that kind of filter, so I just say whatever, So
that's what makes the show good.
Yeah, but I appreciate you having me. So take care, guys, and
yeah. Thanks for coming on, Snowy. It was a lot of fun. It was great talking to you.
Yeah, absolutely, it was really nice.
And yeah, I know you said you're not real interested in going into past things, but it'd be really cool to see that Ill Will album re-released on vinyl.
Yeah, but that would be a cool thing. But yeah, actually, vinyl has. How is it in America with vinyl? I mean, there's I got to say, in Europe and Sweden in particular, I mean, vinyl is taking over so much from CDs and even digital, I guess,
Yeah, it's happened a little bit slower here, but it's the fastest growing sales in the music business. I know it outsold CDs last year, and it's on its way to taking over digital downloads too.
But it's kind of weird. I've heard statistics say that that 80% of those people, and it's not just old farts like ourselves, it's like teenagers who buy vinyls these days. Yeah. It's because maybe they grew up in the digital era and everything is available on the net. So now you actually get to touch something physical. Wow, that's interesting. You can actually look at it. So 80% of those guys who buy vinyl LPs, they don't even have a turntable. They don't have a record player. So they put it on the shelf and just look at it and listen to it digitally.
Huh.
That's kind of weird,
But over where I am, there's new record stores opening all the time. And even like the thrift shops and things that we have here, they always have tons and tons of vinyl. They're selling like crazy.
Yeah, but that is something that I could never have predicted or said, wow, vinyl.
I don't think anybody did.
No. Yeah, so there is, they open up, friends of mine open up a vinyl printing plant here in Gothenburg. And that's the only one in Scandinavia. And they just opened last year. And they are, going through the roof. They have so much work and so much orders and stuff. So that's really impressive, really. Yeah.
It is. I just wish the prices were a lot cheaper. God, some of them are like $30 for the records. It's insane.
Yeah. It's like that. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, but it's a really positive thing. And but I heard that I've heard some rumors that it's kind of flattened out a little bit and lost interest. So those real enthusiasts.
I'm sure it will be, because it's getting flooded. Yeah. I'm sure it will, though, because it's getting, the market's getting flooded now. Everybody wants records, and they're pushing it too much.
Yeah, but what I heard is that
just like everything that they push too much, it's going to be.
Yeah.
Cassette.
Yeah, cassettes is coming back. That's what I heard.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're already back. There's everything on. There's digital. There's CDs. There's cassettes now and vinyl. And this is everything. I think everybody's trying to. What?
they're even trying to bring back 8-tracks.
Yes, they're doing that too.
Yeah, it's weird.
Makes
I
no
mean,
sense.
is it just for collectors, you think, or is it for
I think so.
Yeah.
Collect.
Well,
Yeah, it's a collector
see,
thing.
this is the argument I've been given specifically about the cassettes, and I've talked to both, people that would buy them and then bands, and a lot of these more local up-and-coming bands say it's cheaper and easier to put the music out that way, which I really don't understand because, one, where the hell are these kids going to get a cassette player? And two, it just seems there wouldn't be many magnetic tape plants left to make them. It seems like making up your own CDR or even doing it digitally would be easier.
Yeah.
And then as far as the collecting goes, it's just shrunk down so much smaller. I'd rather have an LP or even a CD where I could actually read the lyrics and look at the cover art without needing a magnifying glass. But that's just me.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way of stopping the time. I mean, everything is changing, but to me, I think I don't have a tape recorder or a player or even I have a turntable, but I haven't put on a fucking LP in 15 years at least. So I sold my whole collection like a couple of months ago because I figured, okay, now there's an interest for it. Actually, I can earn something for it. So when next time I move, I'm not going to bring 1,000 LPs with me. I mean, and why should I have 4 Marillion albums? I never listened to them once. I think, but I mean, of course, I put it on the wall and in frames and all that with Sad Wings of Destiny, Judas Priest, or Queen 2, or Welcome to My Nightmare, all my favorite albums. Some LPs I couldn't sell, of course, because it's so much of my childhood and all that. Right. But it's just sentimental value, I suppose. But why should I have a lot of? I have some 10cc album and whatever. Why should I have? Just sold. But it's a very good thing that it's coming back. In a way, though.
I think so.
Do you are you into the digital stuff at all now?
Yeah, but sorry, I lost my thread there. But the thing is that I only listen to Spotify. That's right. Because it's so convenient in your phone or your computer. It's so easy. So even if you're offline, I mean, if you're walking out in the forest or whatever, you have no connection, you can still listen to music. So it's very, very convenient. But the problem is that the bands won't get their share of their royalties because it disappears with all the middle hands, and that's the biggest problem. And that is what needs to change. But otherwise, it's a very, very convenient thing. I remember I was in Mexico and people were complaining, sort of like fans, that, wow, you put out your live album, the first one I did with my solo thing. Why don't you release it on CD? And I said, maybe you're a little bit behind us, I said, because Spotify is also a Swedish invention, and I said, name a song, I said, and I took my iPhone. They said, Nightwish, this and that, and I just here it is, It's so convenient. And once they got the digital, like the Spotify and whatever it is, iTunes and all that, the whole industry for physical products died in Mexico,
Wow.
Yeah, it's, what can I say about that? I mean, it's kind of sad for the musicians, but it's a very convenient model, but the thing is that the artists won't get their share of the money or cannot earn anything from it, and that's the problem, I think. Yeah, but I'll let you guys go. I need to go walk the dog.
Right. Go let the dog out.
Take care, guys.
Thanks,
all right. Thank you very much. You too. Really appreciate it. Talk to you soon. All right.
Take
Goodbye.
care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.